So, hello, welcome to Breathing Space for today, Sunday, the 31st of August. Today, meditation where I will invite you, first of all, to just tune into what is happening in your awareness at any time. See if you can identify if you are drawn towards a physical sensation. If so, where? Any qualities to it? Second, is it a thought? In which case, what type of a thought is it? Third, are you drawn towards an emotional state? Maybe today there's a particular emotional state, or maybe during the meditation something sets one off. Can you recognize it? There's an emotion there, how it's manifesting in body and mind. And the fourth is impulse. During the meditation, is there something like an impulse that draws your attention? An impulse to do anything other than just sitting and being aware. And so none of those are wrong. All of those are just normal parts of human experience. Question is, though, can we be aware of them when they arise? And the second part to today's practice is then to think about more just tuning in. I might say tune into a physical experience. Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? Tuning into a thought, a pleasant, unpleasant, and just sort of more deliberately seeing if you can put your mind where it's guided. So that's the practice for today. And as always, hopefully by now, I'm seeing you've all got a posture of some sort organized. So let's begin our practice. So we begin, as always, by just arriving into a posture. Okay. Posture for meditation is very important, not the posture. You can choose your posture, but it's the arriving in that is important because that's a little message that you are coming into practice. And by coming into practice, we mean arriving into this space where we are going to be paying attention on purpose in the present moment, slowing everything down, letting go of action, doing, problem solving, coming into this space of just awareness, of being, being with experience. Maybe taking a few moments just to feel the body, noticing where the body is supported by chair or mat or cushion. Noticing how the weight of the body is distributed or balanced. And using this as another opportunity just to let go of efforting. The sense that right now we've got nothing to do. Just rest in awareness. And while we're here, we could just check in with the whole body, mind, weather pattern for right now. Just turn that question inwards, what's going on with me right now? It's very quickly asking that question to the body, the mind, the emotions, maybe even impulses, anything that's coming through the mind that says I should do this or I have to do that, or even messages from the body. So how are things with you right now, physically, mentally, emotionally? There's no rush here, we can take our time. Just like as you throw a pebble in a deep lake, it takes time for that pebble to slowly drift down to the bottom of the lake. We can imagine our attention just slowly sinking in through body, through mind, through emotion, till it settles on the bottom. We get a real sense of connection to what's alive, what's here in body, in mind. What's the felt sense of right now? And within that, perhaps also a connection to something you could use as an anchor today. Perhaps today, just checking in with your feet, that sense of connection to floor or cushion or mat. Or maybe today, your seat, perhaps a place where we can feel the weight of the body is grounded and supported. Maybe today your anchor might be your hands. I'm just checking in with your hands. And perhaps the breathing, sense of the movement of breathing. Air coming in, air going out. All the movement in the belly, in the chest, perhaps the ribs, back. And today, maybe sound could be your anchor. So we're going to start today's practice. You can either rest in the breath or you can rest in the sounds in the world around you, or both. So here we're not thinking, we're just hearing sound, allowing the sound to arise by itself and just noticing those sounds. Or we're following the breath, just noticing the different movements as air enters and leaves the body. And pretty soon your attention is going to wander. Recognize where it goes. Is it going to a physical sensation, to a thought, to an emotional state, to an impulse? And invite a kind of beginner's mind, curiosity. Where does my mind go every time it wanders? Stay there for a few moments and really recognize where you are. Then invite your attention back to resting with the breath and awareness of sounds in the room around you. So today it's all about noticing where your mind goes. So staying with the breath and the sounds is just your kind of home base. And today we're really kind of interested to know where our attention goes when we wander. If it's to a physical sensation, just sit with that sensation for a while. Really get to know it. Where's it located? What does it feel like? Does it have an intensity, a texture? If there's a type of thinking, can we notice what type of thinking it is? Is there a theme, a pattern? Is it planning or worrying or a conversation or something in the future, in the past? If there's an emotion, where is it felt in the body? What sort of energy does it have? And if there's an impulse, what is the impulse to do? Once you've sat with it for a while, absolutely not doing anything, as much as you can, just be the observer of where your mind is trying to go. Once you've sat with it for a while, say, okay, time to come back to breathing, to sounds as my home base, and just rest there with the breathing and the sounds until the mind wanders again. And then just basically repeat this process over and over. So, having given that as a guidance, I'm going to give you 5 minutes now without any more words from me, just to do that process of noticing where your mind wanders, noticing the qualities of where it goes, and coming back to breathing or to sounds in the room. So now we're going to keep doing the same practice of just resting on breath and sound, noticing that very frequently, and the more we stay silent and rested, the more we notice how many times the brain is going here, going there, noticing this, wandering off to that. This time, wherever the mind goes, as well as recognizing if it's a sensation, a thought, an emotion, an impulse, as well as noticing the qualities, can we notice what the feeling tone of it is? Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? Or maybe neutral? And then, explore how that feels to be with this unpleasant experience or this pleasant experience. Just to sit with it for even a short while before you return to breathing and sounds, and then wait for the mind to wander. And then go back to that. Whoa, is this now something pleasant or unpleasant? And explore what it's like to just sit with that. So another 5 minutes, same practice. This time noticing the feeling tone, pleasant or unpleasant, and what it's like to just sit with it and be with it for a while. So now you've got an idea maybe of some of the things that you're experiencing right now that feel pleasant and some that might be unpleasant. I want you to deliberately choose something that's feeling a bit uncomfortable. Might be a physical sensation or a thought pattern, might be an emotional weather pattern, or maybe even an impulse that is just so difficult to ignore. You feel like you're about to explode, or just ignoring that impulse is getting to the point where it's really grating on your nerves. So go to whatever is feeling uncomfortable and just sit with it. And the question is, what does it like to invite some curiosity towards that unpleasant experience? What happens as you sit with this unpleasant experience? What sort of curiosity does it need? What does curiosity feel like as you kind of get to know this experience a little bit better? And as you sit with this unpleasant, you've probably worked out that it's located in a physical sensation or a thought or a emotion and impulse. but try and expand your awareness around it now. How does it connect to all those other ways of being? The physical, the mental, the emotional, the behavioral. How are they, as they sit with this discomfort, does it bring up, if it's a physical sensation, does it evoke thought or emotion or impulse? If it's a thought, can it be felt in the body and the emotions, and is it driving an impulse to do something? If there's an emotion there, is the emotion bringing up a certain thought, a certain feeling in the body, a certain impulse? And if you're sitting with an impulse, is there something behind that? A state of mind, an emotion, a physical experience? So really seeing if they're all connected together or not around this sense of the unpleasant. Ask also, if I was to bring kindness to this, what would it be like? What would kindness be like? What is it like to bring kindness to this experience? So now let's let go of that unpleasant, or at least let it fade into the background. Maybe come back to breathing. Feel your body in the chair, the bed. Reconnect to your anchors. Feel what it's like just to let that unpleasant go, to take your focus away from it and come back to anchors. Notice which of your anchors feels most like home right now. And now let's see if we can deliberately find something in our current experience which feels pleasant or even joyful, wonderful, beautiful. And then when you find it, identify this physical, emotional, mental. Find all the different layers to that experience. Whether it's something lingering or fleeting, we can always reconnect to something new or stay with something a bit longer. And then, as we did before, begin to see how the physical, the mental, the emotional, maybe they connect together in some way. All these different ways that we experience the good through the body, the mind, the emotions, and maybe even impulses that arise through this pleasant experience as well. Ask what it's like to just be with this focus on the pleasant, the comfortable, the beautiful, the ease. And what's it like to turn curiosity and recognition towards this experience? In the last few minutes of our practice, can we recognize the pleasant and the unpleasant, living simultaneously within our experience? The one does not negate or deny the other, they simply coexist. They're always present, the both. The pleasant, the unpleasant, maybe even the neutral and the boring. Can we sit with a kind of open awareness to all of these feeling tones within us and how they coexist? What is it like to recognize this and to notice how they live side by side, moment by moment? And just in our last few moments, what does it feel like? What is it like to recognize, to feel gratitude or invite gratitude towards the recognition that we have something physical to feel, pleasant or unpleasant? We actually can feel the body, and we have a body that's living and feeling and sensing. How grateful we are that we just can connect to the body. And maybe offer some gratitude. And, you know, gratitude is just a simple recognition of the value of what we have. Recognize our thinking, how valuable it can be to be aware of our thinking in a mindful and balanced way. And what happens when we offer gratitude towards awareness of emotion, that we can feel this energy, this motivating energy coming through the body, telling us how we feel, the feeling tone of life, the pleasant, the unpleasant, maybe encouraging us to find some balance and well-being. And what about turning some gratitude towards the awareness of impulse? What happens as we invite that gratitude and the recognition that our mindful awareness of impulse is something that we can be grateful for, something of value. Maybe just get a sense of what that adds to our well-being, our existence. And we can be grateful also for taking the time, this hour that we've spent together, and probably about 40 minutes or so in practice. By offering gratitude, we can sense into the value that we gain from this practice, whatever that might be for you right now. And just say, well done to yourself for turning up, for your practice today, for each other. Well done for being here and giving yourself this. So we can end the formal practice here, although of course this practice you could dip into it all through your day, through the week, just checking in, even just doing a little 3-step breathing space. How am I feeling? Connecting to your anchors, and then coming back to your experience, just as we did right now, with a little bit more connection and awareness. Just see what value that brings to the kind of natural unfolding of your day. For now, let's see if we can be open our eyes and begin to take in the room around you, and maybe invite some movement into the body. Maybe a deeper breath or a sigh. And when you're ready, I'll end our recording here, and we can come back for maybe a little discussion or sharing of experience or thoughts on today's practice.